Thanks, Ken Corley. I also want to focus on this incredible U-turn in the direction of a big sign saying profits for cuckoo funds. And for 2 days now in the Dáil, you have been seeking to avoid answering the question, what prompted this U-turn? Because 2 months ago, you at last admitted that something had to be done to tackle the vulture funds and the cuckoo funds dominating Irish housing. You pledged that you would clip their wings. And then you snuck in to an unrelated bill an incentive to bulk buy new housing. 2 months ago you said councils should stop leasing from these vultures. Today you're proposing a tax break to encourage them to do so. This will not only further incentivise the funds, squeezing out ordinary people trying to buy a home, it will see more and more public money that should be going into building public housing, instead lining the pockets of these cuckoo funds. So Taoiseach, the question is, what prompted this U-turn? Was there lobbying by the cuckoo funds and the vulture funds? Or why are you taking a position that so clearly and blatantly and obviously places the government on the sides of the cuckoo funds, the vulture funds, the corporate landlords, and not on the sides of those who ordinary people trying to access housing?
First of all, we've quite a number of deputies who have raised a range of issues here, and particularly the stamp duty issue, which, by the way, was signalled some time ago by Ministers Donoghue and O'Brien in the context of the decision to increase to 10% in terms of 10% stamp duty on funds so that it could not compete with first-time buyers, allied with planning decisions made by Minister O'Brien, and both combined measures then making it far more restrictive and essentially allowing the first-time buyers in terms of buying houses in estates and so on, giving them that opportunity, which of course they couldn't compete with the funds prior to those decisions being taken. At the time it was signalled in relation to leasing for social housing that they would be making provision for that. Now, the reason being, and by the way, we need to move to a different model of leasing. The state should own the local debt. That's why I believe that, right? Secondly, Deputy Boybar, I don't believe the state should be competing with first-time buyers to buy houses. I don't believe that either. No, it's not better. No, it's not actually.
It's better than letting them do it.
It's not better. It's not better because it's squeezing first-time buyers out of the market. And the real issue is, we're in transition here. We're a year in government. The Housing for All strategy will make this transition. From the current leasing, there's been some in the pipeline, but there is an immediate issue of 2,400 houses, social housing, that can be provided through this leasing model. Now, hold on a second, please, just to make the point. We want those 2,400 families housed. Now, local authorities need to develop, in some instances, capacity and land to get into direct build. The leasing that we're talking about here, by the way, is not the dominant form or model of provision of social housing at all. Now, that gets lost in the debate because one would imagine that every social house is going to be leased. It's not. Up to 80% right now will be either through approved social housing bodies or local authorities. That needs to increase. In my view, we need to go back to the days when local authorities built houses and built social houses. And that's what we want. Okay? Now, that will need capacity build-up in some of the local authorities, which you've acknowledged yourself, to be fair, in your presentation. Some of them need to get back to that. And they need to get into their heads that that's where it's going in terms of social housing. The state is also saying we have to get involved through the Land Development Agency and through local authorities to do affordable housing also and provide opportunities. Because at the moment, we're at about 19 to 20,000 houses for 2021. It was 20,000 last year. That's not enough. It just isn't enough. But all I see is sloganeering, having a cut, objecting to this, that, and the other in the midst of a housing crisis. Like, you take Shangana. Like, do you not take any bona fides? The government just approved the Shangana proposal, which involved social, affordable, and cost rental. This year we have the first major cost rentals initiatives and scheme. Now, I want to expand that, where people can rent quite significantly below the market rate enhancing affordability on the rental market for people and workers in particular.
Taoiseach, if I could just
but we also